All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where you are. This is Daniel Atansi, CEO of Eula Nutritional System and Holistic Health Solutions, which is a new brand. And welcome, everybody, to today podcast. And we have actually a new background, as you can see, and brand new for all of you. And with us, we have today our great and instructor, Jackie Furlong. And hello, Jackie. How are you today?
Hi.
Excellent, excellent. So, well, welcome everybody. And let's see, you're welcome to say from where everyone is from. Let's see, who do we have in the house? All right, I see that more and more people are joining in, so we're going to wait a few seconds. All right, and welcome. So great. Okay, so we have Michigan, Tennessee, outside Boston. Awesome. Welcome. Let's see who else. We have more people. It's coming from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Okay, good. Welcome. Awesome. So, well, we want to get going. So, Jackie, so first of all, thank you to you and thank you to everybody that to join us, that to give us time and be with us. It's always good to have everybody, but I know also it's tough because people need to get away from work and so I appreciate everyone being here with us. So, Jackie, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are and what you're doing for people who doesn't know you, so that we get to know you better.
Okay. All right. I'll just do a quick snapshot. My
Yes.
husband, Dr. Marty Furlong, and I have had a holistic health clinic for almost 40 years.
Uh-huh.
And it started out as a chiropractic practice for 25 years. And then my husband started noticing patients just were not healing like they used to. They were remaining chronic, not holding adjustments. And so in his research, he found that nutrition was a big missing piece. And not only were Americans malnutrition, but they also were getting exposed to a lot of toxins just through their food, water, and environment. And so that's when he found nutrition response testing through
Yep.
your company, and he got fully trained in that, implemented into our practice, and it was just a game changer. People were healing again, made a big difference. But he had one hurdle. It was to get people to change what they were putting in their bodies, what they were eating and
Right.
drinking. And not only did people have misinformation, but they had bad habits, and it's how they got their health or ill health condition in the first place. So as much as he could help them and get results, if they weren't changing what they were doing, they were just kind of, it was a one step back, one step forward, two steps back. So he was trying to educate them during his nutrition checks, but one, he didn't have the time. It was a lot to try to change, not only teach them, but then
Right.
help them apply it, and he wasn't getting paid for that extra time. So I went through a year-long program to become a nutrition coach, learned fabulous information, started implementing that into our practice, but I still really was not taught how to actually do a nutrition coaching session and what worked for our clients. And so I developed the nutrition coaching program, and it's really easy to use. I give you everything. Before we created this product, we probably used it in our practice for 6 or 7 years because we
Right.
started this
Yeah.
about 15 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. I remember you would tell us that like this
mhm.
is a very established program in your practice before even that you start to exporting it. I mean, we have like 6 or 7 years that this is being
Yes.
implemented in your practice, right?
Yes. So we really perfected it.
That's great. That's awesome. That's very inspiring. and appreciate it, because obviously now you got to the point to share the knowledge and the expertise after all these years of getting
Yes.
implemented with your clients.
Yes.
Exactly. Great. So anyway, so I wanted to go over a few questions with you and also with all the people. And this is going to be more of an informal chat, more of as a podcast. So now I was going over some market research that I come up recently, and I wanted to go over a few things that I noticed. Like we find more and more gap in the wellness industry. So in your opinion, like what is the missing link and why so many practitioners is overlooking when it comes to nutrition? So what's your thought about it?
Again, it's the lifestyle, it's the diet, because practitioners can do incredible things if with their programs or nutrition programs and get incredible results, but the patient has to take responsibility. And they're the ones that every day are eating and drinking, and their lifestyle has the biggest impact. But a lot of them don't know the correct information. And then you also have to work with them to apply it, because every person is different. And then holding them accountable. So, and we know how difficult it is just for ourselves to change our eating habits and what we love. And so and that makes the difference. When my husband was a chiropractor, he always told his patients, I can get your spine in alignment, put you back together, get everything working. But if you go home and you sleep on your stomach and you practice bad posture, there's just, you're undoing everything. And that's the way it is
Right.
with people's diets.
It's very true. It's very true. That's the true. Like, it's been a hell for me to stop eating pasta being Italian,
Yes. Yes.
Cool. All right. So I guess that to a degree you already answered these questions or this point, but like in your opinion, like kind of with all your experience, what nutrition challenge do you see clients are facing that other health modalities simply aren't addressing, like with that they aren't addressing?
Well, again, they don't address that there is any connection between food and health. And
Right.
it's just amazing now that I have 3 grandchildren. What my daughter, who totally was brought up with our natural lifestyle, and she's just shocked now being a mom. And good for her. She's standing firm, but she's just still shocked at what the doctors are saying and she goes to mom groups and what they're still doing and saying and what they're feeding their kids. And she's just like, but they're like, oh, my doctor said this was okay. And so still there's so much misinformation out there. I was just Googling some stuff the other day, and
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. The old low fat diet and all this stuff, it's still on Google that fat's bad for
Right.
you. And so it's trying to change, get them the correct information, change it, and just it's education, and the correct education though.
Yeah. Yeah. And makes sense. Like I think you were saying on the course, right? The SAD diet, the standard American standard
Right.
American diet, the SAD diet. So
Yes, exactly. That's the acronym is very appropriate.
yeah, it's definitely very sad, totally. Now, on the flip side, though, like I believe that there is something that is not it's not understood, but maybe overlooked for practitioners that are on our space, but also any practitioners that are on the holistic wellness space, which is the benefit for our practitioners on nutrition coaching, right? So,
Mhm.
so if you're like, we have a lot of established nutritionists or practitioners that are on this podcast. So if you talk to somebody which is an established practitioner, how does adding nutrition coaching complement their existing services? Because obviously you don't want to, I mean, introducing something new is always a pain, you know what I'm saying? Because like with a specific modality, each office is operating in a specific way. But in your opinion, because you guys in your office, you went through these evolutions, right? So
Mhm.
how does adding like nutrition coaching help somebody and their modality in addition by doing this?
Yes, great question. We learned pretty early on when we introduced nutrition coaching in our clinic, we gave it as an option. And of course, what do you hear most people say? I eat well. Everyone thinks they eat well. And it doesn't matter how they eat, they think they eat well. And so we had patients who chose not to do the nutrition coaching, like maybe they look into it
Mhm.
later, or, and then we had patients who did do the nutrition coaching along with our nutrition programs that our practitioners were running.
Right.
And the patients who did the nutrition coaching and changed their lifestyle habits, they were getting great results. I mean, and so the work our practitioners were doing with them, they were getting great results. They also were the most compliant patients. On the opposite side, the patients that were not doing nutrition coaching, were not changing their lifestyle habits. I don't think we had one of them that said, "Oh, it's me. I'm not eating what I should." I mean, it's like, no, it's
Mhm.
you, doc. Your program isn't working. I'm not getting results. I'm not getting results quick enough. How come this is happening and that's happening? And so, and they were the least compliant patients. So it really was a huge success, so much so that we don't give them an option. Our new patients, it's part of the new patient program. They need to have the nutrition coaching sessions. It's just,
Right.
that's part of our program, because when they don't, those are the ones that aren't, we don't get, as much success with.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Obviously, you have the component of knowledge and being knowledge is power, you know, so that's
Mhm.
I think it's a
Oh,
great
yes.
point. Yes. Very cool. Now, here's an interesting things that came across recently in relation to weight loss, and as you obviously you may come across with this whole frenzy apparently is happening with medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and so forth, right?
Mhm.
However, like there is an interesting and obviously while we don't use medications with all our system and so forth, we all natural, but you know, this is a component is obviously you have these people that are looking for solutions,
Mhm.
right? That are reaching for solution. Now, here's something that I came across, which is interesting, which is the following, and I'm actually quoting it. To say the FDA recently ruled that medication like Ozempic and Wegovy should be used in conjunction with nutrition plan guided by nutritionists. It's like, what's your perspective on this sort of new spin about
Mhm.
about this point? Because is I mean, we obviously want to provide natural solutions, but
Mhm.
here we have an opportunity to almost to bring in, sort of to
Mhm.
lure in people that are, in this temporary solution, because obviously that's not optimal in the long range. But anyway,
Right.
that is what it is, right? So
Yeah.
what's your take on this?
Well, one, I was glad to hear that, because that typically hasn't been our medical model in our country. It's like, we got a quick fix. You just take something. They have taken, the patient has no responsibility. And that's probably been one of the biggest problems, why there's such a rise in health, in disease and illnesses, because it's like, take a pill, cover it up. Even with these weight loss medications,
Right.
you can just take that, you can lose weight, lower your A1C, whatever. But we know what got them there. It's a
Yeah.
lifestyle issue. So if they don't change their eating style, and they're, as soon as they're done on that product or whatever, they're just going to go right back to it. But I do want to make a point where not all nutritionists are created equal. So in our experience in hiring coaches that have gone through the typical university systems and have become, dietitians or through nutrition programs. They've been taught the FDA guidelines or the old, hopefully will be the old FDA guidelines of, fat's bad for you and artificial sweeteners are good and all this stuff. And so they've had to actually relearn the correct nutrition. So I would love to see, this is our opportunity for people to start teaching our kind of nutrition coaching, which is whole foods nutrition. This is what I based it on. Whole foods don't change. You have to tell people what whole foods are. A quick thing we tell them, because people just look at you like, well, what's a whole food? They don't even know how to identify a whole food. And our quick and thing is like, does it have a root or does it have a parent? So you look at that box of macaroni and cheese. Did that come from a chicken, cow, or or fish, or did it come from a vegetable? I mean, a root, a tree, a vegetable, and we still need the 3 essential macronutrients. So I really geared this all because, nutrition is changing and dynamic, but this still holds true because it's how our bodies operate, where we're designed a certain way. And so, so getting them the correct information, because we've even coached medical doctors, chiropractors, and even nutritionists that thought they knew the correct information, didn't necessarily know it. So this is a great opportunity for people to coach those people on those medications. And then
very
hopefully
true.
they'll change their lifestyle and not be able to stay on those medications, and they'll realize they're actually in control.
Yeah, no, totally. So continuing on this point, like in your opinion, like in this changing landscape, like what, if you can suggest, like what could be the right positioning that somebody that have done this training, how they can position themselves, like in your opinion?
Position themselves to be able to coach people or to get
Right. Yeah, because like this is basically represent a new opportunity for also because there is such a demand of these new weight loss solutions, right? So if somebody would like to reach into that market, like what could be their best way to position themselves, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, obviously, I'd recommend them taking the course.
Right.
So definitely, I wish I could have just purchased a course like this. I put in years and thousands of hours, and then all of our implementing in our clinic to figure out what worked and didn't work. And I put all of that into this course, and I made it a turnkey system. So everything is there, like not only how to do the coaching and all the PDFs and everything you need to do all the the format of the coaching sessions. I literally tell you everything. I tell you, also give you the ways to do it. I give you coaching advice. I give you everything you need. And then of course this is tried and true, and it's such an affordable price. And I think maybe it takes 10 to 12 hours to go through the whole video course. And when you go through all of that, you literally can start coaching immediately. So
Right.
I know people have done it over the weekend and they start their coaching business on Monday. And so and you have everything you need. Whether you have an existing business and you want to add it on, or you're going to be just your standalone nutrition coach. And you're doing it through Zoom. You can do this online.
That's very true. That's very true. In fact, like going into the business model of somebody wanted to add on or to start as a nutritionist, like talking about a little bit about the economics of it, like how is what obviously each area is different, right? But I believe that you could be a nutrition coach. You can easily charge about 75 to 100, $150 per session, right? Like, so, what is it with your experience? Like, what do you think is determined, like, where someone falls in that range of the pricing of their session?
Well, as we've done running our business, we always look at where our competition's at. So
Yeah,
because I know out in New York City, I mean, they're getting $150 an hour for coaching or more.
yeah,
I'm in the Midwest. Ours might be a little different than that. Um, and so you kind of have to feel out your competition. And then you obviously when you're marketing your product, you have to tell them the reasons why you're different than your competition.
right.
And and so that's, kind of, I
Yeah,
don't know if that
no,
answers
that
your
makes
question.
sense. Yeah, yeah, totally. No, that makes sense. So I guess that is the market is what commanded the price to a degree. So
Yes.
that makes sense. Um, Now, I think that I was speaking with some people in the past about the subject, and I think the not worry, but the concept of their, like, one of the questions come up often is okay, so how I'm going to keep the clients coming? What's stopping them to just simply do only one or two sessions and then that's it, just quitting, right? So
Mhm.
what is it
Mhm.
from a point of view of patient retentions? Like, what is that you found successful in your practice or with your experience to keep patient coming and stick with the program?
So like I say, we started this whole process like almost 15 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and about 5 years ago, I think it's been, we came up with a new program that we added because of that. How do we keep people on the program? And so we created something called the Food Health Score. And
Right,
so what we created, and now we have added that into the current program. So everyone gets that with the coaching program. They get everything they need to do for the food health score. And basically the food health score is you take the patient's food diary or food log, and then we assign numbers, positive, negative, based on the foods they ate, the choices they made. We average them. They get what we call food health score. We usually do it weekly. So
yeah,
people have good days, bad days, but overall, you give them an average, and then we plot it on a graph. The graph is where they are in the graph. We have a sidebar that shows you what all the different levels of health you're at. At the very
right,
top, you're thriving. At the very bottom, you have permanent health problems. And in between, you might be barely surviving, and everything in between. And so what we found is people love to graph stuff. They love to see where they are. They need a visual. And this food health score has just been a game changer because
wow,
usually people have a much worse score than they think.
yeah,
And often they get mad, but they get competitive with themselves. And it's really inspired people to improve their eating habits, and they want to keep coming because they want to come to their next session and see how good
right,
they did. It's like a little
yeah,
report card every time.
yeah,
And that has really inspired people to stay with the program and keep improving because they want to keep seeing that score go up. And
oh yeah,
so
makes
that,
sense.
yeah,
Well, also reward the, excuse me, is always reward the fact of having uh, reward good habits in that way. And
yes,
also, without being judgmental, they can see from the graph that, you know,
right.
nobody's going to tell you you're being naughty, but I think the graph by itself is sort of, it tells the tale. So you don't need to say anything because the
It
graph is
speaks
just
for
show what
itself.
it is.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. That's great. That's awesome. Um, how quickly can someone implement this system, like whether they are starting fresh or adding to an existing practice? It's pretty quick, right? Like you mentioned something like
Right.
10, 15 hours.
Yeah, I think, obviously, based on people's pace, I think it's about 10 to 12 hours that you can go through the complete course, which includes now, I think there's 13 different sessions that you can
Yeah.
deliver, um, with different content. And again, it gives you everything in between. It gives you, um, coaching tips. I mean, it gives you
Yeah.
everything you need. And I designed it this way, somewhat a little selfishly, because I couldn't afford to be our health coach, our nutrition
Yeah.
coach in our clinic. I'm trying to run a whole business. Plus I raised 3 children, and now we got our daughter managing. So I'm watching the 3 grandchildren, and so I did this because I wanted to kind of replace myself. But I
Yeah.
thought, what happens if we don't have a nutrition coach? Or like my husband, I mean, there was a time where he had a patient who could only come during the lunch hour, and we didn't have staff here. So he literally could grab a packet and deliver it all. And it was all there. And plus, it makes it reproducible. So every staff member, nutrition coach, practitioner is delivering the same session to every person. Now, of
Right.
course, it's personalized based on the patient, because
Yeah.
application is where it's different for every patient. But and pretty much it's all there. Now, more training you have in nutrition, then you can add, you can elaborate a little more. But the basics and what you need to know is all in the session. And if it's all in the packets, you just teach it to them. And usually that's enough for most people. They can only handle so much information at one time.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
anyone can
That's
do it.
awesome. So yeah, so for, I mean, this little plug, obviously, like, so if any of you that are listening today, I have not done this course, like we're going to drop a link on that. So definitely you should check it out. We have a whole landing page to tell you more about it. So that's great. Um, and we're going to almost finish here, but before we end off, I want to ask you, a couple more questions is, in your opinion, like, what is the biggest obstacle preventing people from succeeding as nutrition coach, and how's the course you created address this?
The biggest obstacle for the nutrition coach, or
Just the nutrition
implementing the
in
program.
general, succeeding as in nutrition in the arena of nutrition.
Yeah. Obviously it's getting people to change their habits.
Right.
And I give a lot of instruction on how to read patients, how to learn their learning curve. Some people
Yeah.
can implement stuff very quickly. Some people, it's very slow. That's why we do one-on-one coaching. We don't let couples coach together, even though one of them's the cook, because that person doesn't travel with them everywhere in their life. And everything's different. Every
Yeah.
person, it's different how you eat, and you got to learn your body and listen to your body.
Totally.
So we teach
Totally.
them that.
Yeah. And I guess, like, also what you say before about the food score, I think that's a good, I think is, I mean, I'm always online and I see advertisement of different courses, different things and so forth. But I believe that uh, this is a unique feature because I never seen anything like that. And I think it's a great tools um, to give you a good directions on where you are and where you're going, and if you're going the right way or if you're going the wrong way, and it's pretty much in real time. I think that's a very key point to patient compliance, but also to give the
Yes.
wins and successes and confidence to the clients that they're doing, the patients that they're
Mhm.
doing something right, also if they're doing something wrong, to know immediately, oh, okay, this week I did something wrong, but
Mhm.
to self-correct, right? Like,
And again, yes, the food health score was a game changer, because one, you didn't get in the argument like, I eat good, I did good. Well, you did this, this, and this, and then it becomes a battle. So it's just the score will show it. But then also we've had people that all of a sudden their score just takes a dive 1 week.
Oh,
And then,
wow.
but then they go, you know what? I went to a wedding. I ate food I normally don't eat. I drank more than it. And so that's what did it. And it's like, that's a win. You
Yeah,
just learned why. And,
yeah,
you know, and usually their body tells them. And so it's just, if they can make the connection, that's a win.
yeah,
We all
totally.
test the
Yeah,
waters all the time, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I think it's half of the excuse me, half of the battle is to actually increase the awareness of what did happen, because
Yes.
otherwise, kind of, you are, oh no, I didn't change anything. So, well, actually, oh, wait, hold on a second, I went to that wedding
Yeah.
and that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Uh-huh.
Plus, also, if you're traveling, like kind of going to the airport, and then you have airport food, and you go restaurant food, and
Hmm.
all of that stuff. So, and yeah, totally makes sense. Great. Well, last question. So, Jackie, so for someone that listening that is totally inspired to exploring nutrition coaching, well, what is the next steps that they should do as a result of that they can do today or they can do next if they want to introduce this into their practice, or if they if they don't have a practice, they want to go into that career. What's your suggestion?
Well, so if you have the ability to do coaching, you know, one-on-one coaching in your practice, in your business, or as your own business, maybe even via Zoom or you know, one-on-one in person, definitely purchase a nutrition online coaching program. That is. It's gives you everything you need. It's like a business in the box,
Yeah,
and you can implement it right away. But you know, sometimes that's not the situation. Sometimes you're a practitioner, you don't have the staff, you don't have the time to coach, or you don't have the staff that someone who can coach them, then we did create a new program that actually there's the coaching sessions in their videos where for the consumer. And so you could actually purchase that program and you could have your patients or your clients learn it through the videos that we created um, in lieu of having an actual nutrition coach. And
right.
because it's so important for them to get this information, because, you know, it'll make, you know, help you get better results. Because again, if they're undoing everything, you can only do so much, no matter how excellent a practitioner you are, no matter how excellent your program is, you have to get the patients to make those changes. And so
Right.
that is, so there's two options.
That's great. That's great. So for anyone that is not familiar, so let me actually give you some visual about it. Like here's basically your opportunity. Okay, opportunity number one is if you're a practitioner, if you're a nutritional response testing practitioners, or if you're holistic practitioners, and you have small practice, big practice, doesn't matter, and you want to introduce nutrition coaching as an extra modality of services that you want to do, um, again, like Jackie mentioned, this is a complete business in a box, and it's super easy to do as a course. It's a course you can do online. I mean, if you go flat out on it, it can be done in one weekend, or you can space it out, up to you, depending your schedule. And uh, and we're going to drop a link on that. Okay, so I have my uh, admin people, John or Ferris, if you can drop the link. So you will see a link here. Now, so that's one opportunity, and obviously you go through the course, like we're going to support you and get the whole thing started. Our staff here is going to help you, no problem. The other opportunity Jackie was talking about it is the fact that okay, so okay, now everyone say, okay, you know what, like I like the idea, I love nutrition, definitely I think nutrition is a key component, but I don't have the time, I don't want to add this as an additional thing, so what do I do? Okay, well, this is where the new things comes into the place. One second, let me see if I can get John, if you can add on. All right, so this is basically, there is a course which is called the Eat Well, Feel Great program. And basically, this is a course that is also online. This course is for consumer, okay? And this is something that you can offer to your community or to your clients and so forth. And you can become like an affiliate. We can give you the link and you can become an affiliate. Also, if you're interested, we can even give you the course for free as an affiliate and become a partner promoting this program. But basically, you can promote this program to your clients, and then they can get trained. They can get more information about nutrition. What is proper nutrition? What is proper macronutrient? What are those? What is a proper protein, what is a proper carbohydrate, what is proper fat that they should eat, the source of the right place to the right source of those macronutrients, etc., etc. The course also was created by Jackie, and this is an awesome course that is super easy to be done. And is very affordable. This is for consumer. This is not for practitioners, okay? And this is different what you would be doing, okay? And it costs only $239. We also have an option if somebody want to just do 2 lessons for free, they can just do 2 lessons so they can get the idea. But yeah, there is meal planning, grocery shopping list, and all kinds of different stuff. Anyway, so again, if you have not the opportunity to, or you don't want to, you don't have the time, and so forth, to become a nutrition coach yourself, I mean, this is basically something that also you can do. But again, if you want to become a nutrition coach and establish that as an extra service in your practice, we are here to assist you and help you, and that you can basically do the course online, and there is the link here on the webinar chat. Okay,
Can I
so there
just
you. Yeah, sure.
add
Go
one
ahead,
thing?
Jackie.
Okay, so here's a reason you need to provide nutrition coaching. Number one, people are getting coaching, so their dollars are going elsewhere. So you might as well have the dollars that they're doing with coaching, in your business. The other thing is, where are they getting their coaching and what are they being taught? So now it might not be in alignment with what you want them to know. So if you offer this yourself, they're getting the correct information. It's in alignment with basic whole foods nutrition, and you're keeping the dollars in your business.
Absolutely, totally true. And also, we made it as easy and accessible as possible. Like we have different payment options, so you can get the course now and pay later. Like you can use Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna, Amazon Pay, and PayPal to give you all option to basically get the access to the course and pay later. Okay, so again, we try to make it as easy as possible, and so that you have it. One extra little things that I'm telling you now, you will see in a few days, but we have actually hundreds of people that already went through the course, okay? And so we actually have hundreds and hundreds and many of you most probably are here, have done this course. So we're creating actually a network of all the people that have done this course, okay? So we're going to have a place where people can find you. If somebody looking for a nutritionist, we're creating like a database and people can find you. And so that we're going to create a network. And our goal is to create a community of all the people that have done this course so that they can also help each other out, and we can give assistance and best practice and tools and etc., etc., etc. So this is going to come very soon, and we're going to announce it to all of you. Okay, and if you're not, we're going to create a Facebook group and all of that stuff. So like you will see an invite soon on this. We're working out of the technical webs and stuff on the background. So there you have it. So great. Well, with that said, well, thank you, Jackie. I want to thank you for your time and for being here with us today on our live podcast. And thank you to all of you. I don't know if it is any specific questions. Let's see from the chat. 1 second. I don't see them. Any? All right. So, well, there you go. So anyhow, well, I want to thank you again, Jackie, for being here. And thank you for all of you to stick with us, and wish you a great rest of the week. Okay. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Daniele.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.